What is going on YouTube? Y'all squad, this your boy YahCrateas. This is your review for Love and Marriage DC Season 2, Episode 4. Please excuse the voice. This is more natural of what my speaking voice is. It's first thing in the morning. I haven't had a chance to really, really break it up. So just enjoy it for what it is. Hopefully when I get to my what you call a New Jersey review, I'm back to sounding like my regular everyday self. This is Love Marriage DC Season 2 Episode 4. We start off with Joy and Clifton. They have this house that I would assume they've already purchased. It is surrounded by water. It is away from everybody. It is beautiful. It like if you're like me and you're a recluse slash introvert, like you know what? I'm kind of hold on, y'all, because uh, the green screen and everything is just very distracting. Oh, but then that doesn't help either. Okay, never mind. I'm. Just I thought I was doing something turning that off, but no. I guess because it doesn't matter. Whatever. Y'all know I'm here. But if you're like me and you don't really like people and whatnot, like it is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it's. But then it's also like if something were to happen, you're not surrounded by people, so it's just like no one will know if anything that happened to you, so it raises concern. They FaceTime the Tylers, and Joy and Clifton talk about having kids and everything. And she says, she wants a child, but she doesn't want one until she's grounded, planted, and settled in, which is understandable. Like y'all are y'all done got this house, y'all still trying to work through the wedding logistics and everything else, and it's let that happen. Let me get settled in when it comes to my career and whatnot. And then, we can go ahead and, talk about having children, but, not just yet. Understandable. So now we get Ashley and Quick. Ashley is exhausted from the day before, but is thankful for Quick trying to surprise her. Alicia, we find out she's physically okay. Her body is sore. She is still upset that Quick didn't tell her about Alicia as soon as he found out. So pretty much when she walked in, she was expecting him to tell her. And she's truly triggered because and I totally forgot about this until she said it, but she's triggered by this because she's had to deal with Quick and his car accidents, him overworking himself, being exhausted and falling asleep behind the wheel. So so that's the whole thing where it's just like, so now this is happening to my best friend who I grew up with. So I do understand. And so yeah, there's that. They talk about how sauced up Jamie Senior was because that boy was on one. And then him saying that Jamie Jr. is only saying what it is that he's saying for attention, and that triggered them. And Ashley says that this is someone that is crying out, "I need help," and that's true. And even if someone has been saying this for years, it doesn't like if somebody up and says something like that, there it like whether or not they want to do it or not, yes, they're crying out for attention. Guess what? That's their way of saying, hey, I need for you to pay attention to me. Come talk to me. Something is wrong. Regardless of whether or not you feel they want to go that route. Because here's the reality, you never know. And the last thing you want is to play it to the left, and then it actually happens, and now you sitting there looking real, real stupid because you could have prevented it. But again, if your son has been saying this since he was 16, obviously he's been going through something, and you are neglecting it, overlooking it. Hopefully, I remember to get. I'm trying not to go too deep into this because I did a whole nice little tangent and rant last week. I'm trying not to do it this week. Anyway, Ashley says her insomnia is getting the best of her. She's averaging 1 hour a day. She feels like she's going to crash, and pass out. She starts crying and says that she hasn't had an opportunity to be excited about the book and whatnot, and let these things, like sink in. Which I understand it, like it's one thing that happens when you do overwork yourself and whatnot, but it's just something isn't connect. Like I understand the frustration and I've been there, but it seems like there's an underlying problem that is causing some of this and why she can't be there. And I think her possibly meeting with her mother has reignited or brought back to the surface some feelings that she suppressed, and that might be adding to this. I could be wrong. Just a thought. So now we get Raina and Joy. They're doing arts and crafts. Joy thought they were going to, go out to a restaurant and eat and whatnot. And I mean, because I guess by them dressing up and whatnot, and I mean it was a cute enough scene. I'm pretty sure it was production that planned this, and I can also see from Irena's possible point of view, her being a singer, being an artist. Maybe she would like to paint something so she can put it into her house or whatever. Maybe, possibly, but it was just kind of like eh. And so anyway, Arena wants to go glamping at Joy's house. So I'm under the assumption that they've already paid for the house, so the house is already theirs. But she wants to go glamping there. Cool. Don't want and look, I ain't even gonna judge about her not wanting to do camping because look, even though I did my time in the service, look, I I I don't like being in the elements. That ain't my thing. I hate being in the elements, so I get it. The wedding comes up. Joy says that she's been skipping over the when and the where whenever the conversation comes up, and I really just want her to just be very forthcoming. Where it's like this, like I just want like because she said it, but just be very direct with Clifton and just say, I just want to be married. I don't care about the whole wedding and the party and the this and the that. Now, if that's what you want to do, you plan that, but that's not what I want. That can be solved really quickly. Maybe just maybe she's stringing this along for her storyline. I don't know. Irena brings up Ashley's party where her name came up, and this is an instance of I'm sorry, Irena was just being messy. Huh? I got my regular voice back. Didn't take that long. Just being messy because yeah, her name came up and whatnot. And it's the whole did you really have to carry this bone? Now, we also have to remember this is a reality television show, so we have to look at it through that lens, unfortunately. So she says that Sherelle said you and Alf, I'm sorry, that you blocked her, and she doesn't know why because y'all don't know each other. And she says her, I'm sorry, her husband back in the day was dating one of her friends, and you got mad because he dated Cheryl afterwards, and Joel was like, no, 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 and says he was messing around with Cheryl while he was with my friend, and Irena tells us, if they love it, she loves it. She, I'm sorry, that Jamie was her side piece, when she was living with Brittany's father while they were dating. Interesting. And I feel that she's probably gonna pay for that because we know how um I really hope y'all can't hear the noise that's going on outside. Oh crap. I just thought about it. Yesterday they cut down our tree in front of our building and they cut it down to a big chunk and left the majority of it. I think they're probably out there right now finishing the job. Okay, let me try to hurry because I might just have to pause it. I hope that's not what's going on outside. I really hope, and I really hope y'all can't hear it. But I was saying, Jamie don't like his business being said because we found it out last season. So, okay. So then, Irena shares Sherelle invited her to a fitness class and asked Joy if she wanted to accompany, and Joy's just like, no. And Alfred, Sherelle's husband, comes up and she says she hates him. Very strong words, but okay, she hates him. And says, while while in the band, there were because she was no she at no Irena asked was he doing shady businesses practices and whatnot. She was like, it wasn't that. It was that, there were selfish decisions he made. There were lies. There was manipulation. And with that, I don't like the fact that it's so open ended. And I get it where it's just like, well, look, these were just the overarching issues, but it's the whole thing of why not just come out and just let it be known, in terms of, the selfish things. What exactly did he do that was selfish? When it comes, now, she did say one of the lies is he did say that she and I think the drummer got into it, and that caused the band to break up. But she said lies plural, which means that it hasn't been many of them. Give us what the lies were and the manipulation. What was the manipulation? But again, I feel like it's fishing. I'm throwing a little bit out there for you to take the bait, but I'm gonna string you along until later on in the season for me to go ahead and give you this. And Irena says, sometimes you just have to move on and make amends. She looked at Joe, and Joe gave her the "I know you lying" look, and then says, "Well, not with him, the wife. Can you make? Can you have a conversation with her?" And Joy's whole thing, and I get what Joy is saying, because Joy says she wants nothing to do with Alfred or anything that's an extension of him. And some people find that to be extreme. But I get where Joy is coming from, where you two are married. So regardless, Sherelle is always going to have Alfred's back no matter what. So even if she wants to be cordial with me, I have a problem with the husband. You 10 toes down for your husband. That's going to be a point of tension. And no matter what I say in reference to her husband, she's going to have his back. So it doesn't matter. So to avoid any of this conflict, I just want nothing to do with her. And them saying, well, y'all can't be in the same room together. Well, Ashley, at Ashley's event, they were in a setting together where it was just the cast of women minus Winter. Just the cast of women sitting down. Now, Joy had a look of, I can't stand this hoe. I don't know her, but I can't stand her. But never said anything out the way to her. Now. I mean, that's technically. I mean, because I guess maybe that was Joy's level of being cordial. But that's all that is. But they ain't said nothing to each other. So it seems like, okay, we're stirring up something to make something happen. That's literally all that this is for me. So now, now we get the Silvers and the Tylers, baby. So they're at this place called Funland. It's adult gaming and an eatery. They do go karts first, which was fun. Then they talk. And quick, we find out it's getting a street named after him, and that's going to come up next week. Yeah. So the next episode, because we're actually already in the week. So next episode. And then he brings up the Jamie Jr. and the Jamie Sr. situation. And Jamie Sr. is shocked because he is shocked that Quick initiated the conversation. He was expecting the ladies to bring it up. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. Like, on one hand, I can understand why he thought Ashley would bring it up if he is aware of Ashley, wanted to, send herself to glory when she was a teen and in her, early adult years. If that was the case, I can understand it. But part of me also feels that maybe it's just the whole misogyny thing of, if the women bring it up, you can shrug it off because they're women, but because Quick is a man and obviously you're going to value the opinion of another man over a woman. Maybe that's it. I don't know. I could be reading into it. I'm just throwing it out there. So Irena says she was shocked because she thought they were just going to go on a fun double date. Now, we know that the confessional/interviews are shot after the scenes, not immediately after, but maybe like they've shot enough and maybe like a third of the way, halfway through the season, they come in and they start shooting some of their interviews and whatnot. And we can clearly see, especially in this particular, part of the episode, that Irena is going to say whatever she can to defend her husband, no matter how wrong he may be. And her saying that she was shocked because she just thought this. No, you're saying that because you're not trying to upset your husband. That's what this is. And I'm not even going to sit here and play around with y'all and how I feel about this. So Irena says she didn't hear. So they bring up Jamie Sr. calling Jamie Jr. a bum. Irena says, she didn't hear Jamie Senior called Jamie Junior that, and if she did, she would be mad because why would you call my son a bum? And they all were drinking, but it was clear that only Jamie Senior he was completely sauced. That boy was wasted, drunk. Raina heard it. And here's the reality. I understand you may not remember everything that is said in a conversation, especially when you've been consuming alcohol and whatnot. But in a conversation such as that, you mean to tell me you don't recall your husband calling your son a bum? Get out of my face with this. She definitely remembered, but she gonna stand by her husband. And look, that's a whole nother I'm gonna just let that one go. Anyway, Jamie Senior says he doesn't remember a lot of the conversation, and I can give him that. He probably doesn't. He just wanted to say what he had to say, but I'm pretty sure they showed him the clip, and then that's when he apologized in his interview. If he said it, but you did say it. Quick shares a bit of his wife's struggle, and then Ashley says she's dealt with it twice, once in her teens and most of her 20s, where in most of her 20s, she had the thoughts just constantly playing, even though she never acted on it. And, she said she didn't want to tell anyone for fear that someone was going to say that she was doing it for attention. And I shared with y'all my story last week about how I held this close to my chest for many of years. And then, when I shared it with my sibling, the reaction that I got and how it was just played all the way to, and granted, there were more nuances and more to the conversation, but that's not for y'all. Because again, if I'm not here to air out. I mean, if I wanted to, I could, but I'm not here to do that. But understanding how you bring it up and what the reaction could be and how it could be interpreted or received. So I get it. And then she says in her 30s, she ended up in the hospital for 7 days. So she, if I'm not mistaken, let me go back. Because she said she dealt with it twice, once in her teens and most of her 20s. So I'm under the assumption, because again, I don't know, that she might have attempted to send herself to glory in her teens, dealt with the ideas in her 20s, and then acted again, or this was her first time acting in her 30s, somewhere in there. Again, I said I don't know the full story. I'm just hoping that I got it somewhat right. And then she says has she gotten help in her 20s, she feels things may have not gotten as bad in her 30s. And that's a possibility. And then Ashley says her intent is not to condemn, but to share, that those statements did bother her. And I like this part of Ashley and she knows, because again, things are different at the end, but you can clearly see here she knows how to communicate, where it's like, I'm not trying to condemn y'all. I'm just letting you know that y'all said this and it did bother me. Cool. And then Quick had to sit here and so then Quick says to Jamie Sr., as a dad, I couldn't fathom talking about my child the way you did. Now Jamie's face was the whole, who's a jigger what? And I'm like, ooh, shots fired. Shots fired. And even though you say that, you have somewhat came down on your son just a little bit. And anyway, he says, outside of your love for him, y'all fell out of like. Did I not say that last week? Now, I may not have said those exact words, but I have said just because you love someone don't mean you like them. Just because you love someone don't mean that you respect them. Just because you love someone don't mean that you care about them. Said that. So I'm just like, but again, it's just kind of like, and we know that the Tylers and the Silvas have known of each other for years, but they didn't start building a friendship until they started filming season 1. So they've been friends for what, 2, maybe 3 years now. So I feel with a conversation such as this, where Quick is going, I feel like there should have been just a little bit more of a gentle touch, because you don't know them like that. Nevertheless, and then Jamie Sr. says to us he understands what Quick is saying, but doesn't like the wording. The I would never. And yeah, when you have someone telling you, "Oh, I would never," and I couldn't see myself, yeah, that's gonna make you feel away. And honestly, any other person, I probably would have snapped off if I was Jamie C and just like the hell. But see, what's gonna happen is, because I think I said this in one of the last three episodes, because I forget exactly when it happened. But when Quick was talking about their son, him and Ashley's son, and how he needs like he's a man and this and that and this and that. Oh, if you don't think that Jamie Senior is gonna come for your neck about the comments that you made about your son, since you talking about him and his son, you a fool if I ain't never seen one. Quick says he's hard on his son, but is super supportive. You might have been shots fired again. Like when I tell you, I'm sitting here like, Quick, are you thinking about what it is you're saying before you say it? Because, dude, oh my gosh. And then Jamie Sr. says, you're talking about a 26-year-old man, not a teen. I understood that point. He's been getting into trouble since he was a teen. He just got arrested again in 2021. And right here, I had now, unless, and there's obviously there's some editing going on here, but what Jamie Sr. is doing is because you latched on to the point that his son is a teenager, yours is 26. You want to start at the end and where he's at and not the beginning, though you don't owe that to them. But him saying that he's dealt with a lot, well, how about you share that? But the other part is you gonna have to own up to the fact that you created this monster in your son, that you've helped to create this. And yes, at a certain point, Jamie Jr. is gonna have to sit here and deal with his own stuff because hey, you an adult now, da 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 da. But you created this monster, and it could be. Can we talk? Let's talk. It's a lot of reasons why this could be, but I think part of it may be okay. You have Brittany, who is Irana's child from a previous relationship. Then, so that's the firstborn in her mind. Then she and Jamie Sr. have Jamie Jr., middle child chronologically. His first child, but her middle child. Then you have Jason, again their second child together, but her third child. Now, obviously, she poured a lot into the first, Brittany, and she even said that Jason is her heart. And one thing that I have noticed is when with dynamics of children, is sometimes if a parent has at least three children, the middle child sometimes is lost in the shuffle. And sometimes, and also parents know, and I hate to say this way, but they know if they have more than one child, which child needs more from them. And they sometimes will sit here and pour a whole lot into them because they know, okay, you need it, but their strong child, they don't have to deal with because, okay, I know you got you. So I don't have to give you as much. And that could be the case, but then with Jason also being the middle child and then his baby brother having special needs and seeing all of the attention and whatnot that was being given to him, probably felt away and probably was acting out. And then you have his father who was a police officer, which more than likely working all type of crazy hours and this, that, and the third. So rather than I can't be here for you physically, so I'm going to sit here and financially or give you stuff to compensate for what I'm not doing, or I'm sitting here being a hard A to you and whatnot. So rather than me sitting here and we have tough conversations, I'm just going to shower you with stuff. I'm throwing out possibilities until the two of them tell us what it is. It's somewhere in here, but you helped to create this anyway. Ashley says to us, it appears that Jamie Sr. wants to put all the blame on Jamie Jr. and not on the type of father that he. I literally just said that, and I agree, Ashley. All right, and we get to the very last scene. I've been talking for way too long, so let's go ahead and try to sum this up. So, Sherelle has a costume fitness event. She's a certified trainer. We found out that she's lost over 100 pounds. So, this is her mission to try to help get women healthy. Cool. They're outside. They're warmed up. And inside is where the actual workout arrives. So, at the end of them working out, you have Ashley and Alicia show up. Then they go inside a little bit into the workout. Winter finally arrives. Then she comes inside. Sherelle wants to know if time has healed all wounds. And it's like, it's obvious what it is Sherelle is doing. And my thing is, you didn't start all this mess for you to just be a friend of, even though you getting a whole lot of camera time, but you just started all of this and you ain't nothing but a friend of. But anyway, you can tell, even though Irena talks about the fact that she works out, you can tell that she works out by how, not the just not the stamina, but how she was moving and whatnot. Where it's like, yeah, you work out, so it ain't just all talk. You work out. I appreciate that. Okay, but also, Irena did tell us last season that she's all about perfection and things are all about appearances and whatnot. So that lends to that. But I'm not analyzing her. I'm just back to here. So then there's obviously tension between the women. Alicia is there, and I said that she had a small concussion. Her knee, neck, and back hurt, but she's okay. Irena shares with Sherelle that she wanted Joy to come, and Sherelle is just like, this woman has me blocked. What? Because and look, I get Sherelle being upset. Let's be clear, this is a cast event and whatnot, and I get all of that. But I understand from Sherelle's whole thing is like, she got me blocked, so why would I even want her here? And what Sherelle didn't say is, and why would you think it's okay to invite her to something knowing that there is conflict there? Like, again, Irena is being messy. And, whew, okay. Where am I in my notes? And then she says, Alfred has no problem with her. I don't, so I don't see what it is. So then Irena shares that Joy says that it was about business and him having shady business practices. And technically, that is not what Joy said. In a roundabout way, you can assume it, but that is not exactly what she said. And this is playing telephone. Irena knows what she's doing, but it is messed up. And some of this is going to blow up in her face. And I told y'all, no, I didn't tell y'all. I said it on the panel because someone asked me about Joy, and I said it's something about her that I just don't know what it is. It's gonna come ahead next week, so I'm gonna deal with it next week. But I told y'all from jump, I didn't see it for Sherelle, and Sherelle is purposefully inserting herself into stuff to create drama, and then when the drama happens, it's oh my gosh, like get the anyway. I can't choose your words, y'all got it. So Sherelle is setting 10 toes down when it comes to a man saying Alfred would never do that. He doesn't do shady business stuff. He's invited her to group stuff. And this is one of those things where Sherelle, to me, is one of those people. And I actually have I have several people, but I have one person like this in particular that I'm related to where they are always on the defense. Now, I'm one of those people where I see everything, so I know when somebody is trying something. So if I am defensive, it's because no, you're clearly doing something, and I'm just letting you know. Where you have other people to where you can just say something, and it's just, oh my gosh, and it's just like, whoa, 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 what is all of this? That's Sherelle, just automatically defensive for no dang on reason. So not seeing it. And then Winter walks over, and this whole scene was chopped because she speaks and is saying goodbye to everyone. And then all of a sudden she was like, wait, what did she say? And who is that? Directed towards Ashley. And it's obvious something was cut out because Winter had even said it's like, yeah, and then she said something, so editing crazy there, whatever. And Alicia says, clearly because you would never try me. And Winter is thrown off by the energy, so are we. Sherelle grabs Ashley, so hold on, wait. Okay, so Winter's thrown off by the energy, and she's saying, because her and Sherelle went outside and they talk about it. And she's like, well, I want y'all to talk. And Winter's just like, I have no issues with her, and I have no problems talking to her. So then Sherelle goes in and pulls Ashley outside because she wanted to talk to her independent of the other women to see if she would be willing to talk to Winter, even though Alicia is hovering around. Again, Sherelle, this has nothing to do with you, and you inserted yourself into this. So again, whatever comes of this, which is we're about to see, your fault. Anyway, so Ashley says that she has done videos of her. She has them on her phone where she says she isn't a Christian, which I guess that is a bit of Well, you know what? Never mind. Because depending on what faith you belong to, that can actually be a dig. So okay, cool, whatever. But it's like if you know you living that life, then who cares? And then saying talking about her husband and how and talking about her husband and her, so I don't like her, and says that she's one of them. Wait. Oh, and I'm sorry. Then she says she'll say one thing, and then she'll say another thing, and then do another thing, and then Winter walks up, and Winter says, "Ashley, if you want to address me, address me." Ashley tells her, "I didn't want to address you, talk to you, or be around you." Then they go back and forth over, whether or not one talked about the other, and let's be clear, they both talked about each other. Sherelle tries to chime in, and Winter says, "I am talking to her. I don't need an audience." Baby, when I tell you I nip out holler because you saw Sherelle, like, and I get it because technically it was only supposed to have been Winter and Ashley. And you have Sherelle there trying to be a mediator, even though you don't know how to mediate. And you allow that to topple over before it even got started. And then allowing Arena and Ashley to join, even though this was a group scene, and her saying, "I don't need an audience." And look, Winter has vocabulary. She knows how to speak, even though the two of them were just really getting on my nerves, to be honest with you. And Winter says in her interview, they not only have a linebacker, but a defense lineman added to the party. Now, I don't know who she was calling what, but look, that was between Sherelle, Irena, and Ashley. I'm like, ooh, obviously this is going to come up during the reunion. And, they argue about who started it first. And let's be clear, one thing that Ashley was trying to do is start at the end. And let's start at the beginning. Now, let's be clear. Where it started with Winter was when she was talking about her relationship to Kevin and Ashley having all that stuff to say. But where it really started, but Winter wasn't aware of it, is episode 1 when she was talking about her story. And then you have Ashley saying, "Ooh, I'm bored. I got a drink," and all this other stuff. That's where the energy started. But she first confronted Winter right then. And I'm a direct person. I'm all about being direct. But I do have a bit of couth about me and decorum. So just to come at somebody like that is like you know what you're doing. And you popped it off. Now, do they really have problems to where is this deep? No, they really could just get over this. But I'm not one to tell people to get over anything because you try me one good time, that's it. But actually, you did start it. So if anybody gonna have to walk it back, it's you. But Winter, don't act like you don't be on social media, gang banging and whatnot. You do, baby, you do. So Winter says, that was the source on it. Winter leaves. Irena thought Ashley was going to hit Winter because she was trying to pull her away. Ashley is upset with Sherelle for putting them together to talk. And she says to her, "I asked you to respect. I'm sorry, I asked you, yeah, to respect what she knew." Wait, what did I say? I don't know what I was trying to say here. But with that, I like because a lot of people is like, why put this on Sherelle? Sherelle knows Ashley and has known Ashley for years. And I get the sentiment where if I got somebody that I've known for so many years, you obviously know my person. It's one thing if you know of me, we know each other. We didn't kicked and everything for over 10 years. You know my personality. You know how I get down. If I say to you, I don't want to talk to this person, you know that I can take it from zero to hell right quick, and then you put me in that situation, yes, I'm now looking at you crazy because you own some fugazi stuff, and obviously you're doing it for these cameras, and you want to sell my relate. Like, I get where Ashley is coming from. I honestly do. Sherelle says that she won't do it again, and she can't live in this type of this dysfunctional space. Where because she's gonna have both of them at events to create tension and whatnot. But at the same time, Ashley been told you how she felt. Like, I don't get it. Anyway, I still don't like Sherelle. And this further cemented why I don't like her. Because I started off rip with her in Winter, episode 1. So we get Brittany. She's invited Jamie Jr. to her house, but she's planning somewhat of an intervention. So Jamie Jr. was there first. He notices that she has a broken heart necklace, and he finds out that she has a boyfriend, but he's never met her. Brittany wants to do a formal introduction. The remaining people come, which is Jamie Sr., Irena, and Mama T. And both groups realize, oh my gosh. Now, look, on one hand, they do have call sheets, so they knew something was going on, but the other group thought that it was a dinner, and Jamie Jr. just thought that he was coming to hang out with his sis. And though there's a good intentions, and we're going to talk about it next week, I don't like interventions like that, because when you do something like that, now everybody is immediately on the defense, because neither part, especially, is one thing. Well, now, because even if one party knows, the other party doesn't, and that person's on the defense, but neither group knows, so all of them are going to be on the defense and possibly not ready to receive it. So we'll see. That'll be next episode. I gave y'all way more than I thought that I would, but that is all that I have. Hope y'all enjoy. And yeah, this season is giving a lot, and it's providing us with a lot of commentary to have conversations. So with that being said, please rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will be right back for the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Peace.